So I have a pet peeve against the whole idea of gurus, and actually I think the whole concept that somebody can even be a guru in a topic is fundamentally flawed. And in this video, I'm going to get up on my soapbox and tell you why gurus don't know squat. So before I rail against it, I should probably define my term. And to be clear, when I'm saying gurus, I'm pretty obviously not talking about the Buddhist, like spiritual mentor term. I'm talking about this term guru that's kind of been co-opted by like the business marketing world to mean somebody that is just this absurd kind of enlightened expert in this whole realm of knowledge. So you'll commonly hear like marketing guru, business guru. I don't know. Just put in like this broad topic in front of the word guru and you know what I'm talking about. To make it even more specific, I can give you the names of like 12 music marketing gurus that you probably know if you are watching this video. It's people like Adam Ivy, Damian Keys, Ryan Wachek, Omari, Tom Dupree, Andrew Southworth. There's so many other people, so if I didn't mention you and you're watching this video and you identify as a guru, I'm sorry. I'm sure you're great. But my point is that having an audience in this space almost like just elevates you to this place of being a guru and an expert and somebody that other people look to. And it would be hypocritical of me to say that those people are bad. So please don't hear me like hating on those people or on this idea of having an audience. Like that would be totally hypocritical since I'm literally doing the same thing. I've literally had like 2 people this week on calls call me their ad guru. And I'm a little bit flattered, but it just makes me feel a little bit weird. So this video is kind of a response to that. So here's why the whole thing bothers me, and it can really be boiled down to this. Nobody really knows that much, and treating somebody as this end-all be-all expert is a really blind and I think a bad way to make your own decisions. So there are really 2 ideas that kind of underpin this. First of all, I don't think anybody actually knows that much. Like nobody really has this very wide breadth of practical knowledge. So take me for example. I run meta ads campaigns pretty much every day, and that is like pretty much all that I do. Like on most days, I'm in the meta ads manager and I'm looking at client campaigns and I'm setting stuff up. And so I'm in there all the time. But on my channel, I have videos on a bunch of other things that I've tried. I have a video from a while ago about influencer campaigns from a campaign I tried like 2 years ago. So my point is I have people ask me questions about things that are not meta ads related all the time. The other day, somebody asked me about setting up an influencer campaign, and I can bounce ideas back and forth about that. But look, I ran one influencer campaign like 2 years ago. So to take my word and to take my advice as some higher truth than your own intuition, it just doesn't seem like the best decision when you know your music and you have thoughts about how to set up an influencer campaign. Why would you take my advice when I've tried it once? And that's obviously a really specific example, but this applies pretty generally across almost all domains of knowledge. Like there are only 24 hours in a day. We all only get 24 hours, and nobody has the time to become an expert in everything across even something as narrow as just music marketing. Nobody is doing all aspects of music marketing every day. And so you shouldn't just take people's general advice as the absolute best way of doing things when you know that they're not doing that aspect of music marketing every day. And then the other related thing is that knowledge is specific to you. So someone like me can give recommendations on what has worked across a broad range of artists and what we think will generally work, but the truth is that in your specific circumstances, what I say might not work. And you will always learn more by doing your own things than you will by listening to advice from experts. And to prove that, just look at how the experts got to be experts. Like, how do you think Andrew Southworth got good at meta ads? Was it because he watched a million meta ads courses? No, it's because he ran a million of his own meta ads campaigns. How did I get to be like somebody who knows about PR back in the days when I talked about PR? It's because I ran a music blog for 5 years, not because I like took a bunch of gurus' advice on how to do PR. Almost any time you're looking at somebody who's an expert in their field, the reason they're an expert is not because they listened to a bunch of advice from different gurus. The reason they're an expert is because they went out and they actually did the thing again and again and again, and so they found what works for them. Now, I'm not saying that advice and education is meaningless. Like, clearly it isn't, and that would be this other absurd side of the spectrum. Advice is a great starting point. It can save you a ton of time in getting started, and hint, hint, that's why I have resources like my guide on how to get your first 100,000 streams. Like, there's a point certainly to advice. There is a way to learn from other people. But again, advice doesn't matter at all if you don't actually go out and act on it. And the majority of your learning, even if you start from listening to experts and gurus, will come from actually doing the things yourself. And so that's really the whole point of the soapbox and this rant, is that rather than putting your faith in somebody like me or Nick G or Adam Ivy, who are all great people, and some of us are especially handsome, you should go out and you should listen to advice and find a starting place that makes sense for you, but then you should do the things and actually try them yourself and test them and see what works. And that is the way that you will learn far better than listening to any specific guru. So I hope this is helpful. Let me know your thoughts on this. If you think I'm just totally off base, or if you kind of agree with what I'm saying. I always like to be personally firm, so let me know in the comments. Appreciate you guys. Wishing you good luck as you market your music. Get out there and actually market it yourselves and learn what works. You got this.